His wife said one thing, and the world's #1 golfer had absolutely nothing to say back. In 80 years of golf history, nobody had ever done what Scottie Scheffler did. And he did it while losing. Stop. Just stop for a second. I need to ask you something before we go anywhere. If the world's #1 golfer loses 3 weeks in a row, earns $10 million without winning a single tournament, and breaks a record that hasn't been broken in over 80 years of professional golf, is he failing, or is he doing something nobody has ever done before? That is a question Scottie Scheffler's wife Meredith asked him. The front door opened. Scottie walked in, exhausted, 3 weeks of work, 3 Sundays, 0 trophies. Meredith looked at him, dead in the eyes, and said one sentence, that immediately became golf history. Not because it was cruel, not because it was mean, because it was the truest thing anyone has ever said to the greatest golfer on the planet. And Scottie Scheffler, for major championships, 175 weeks at world #1, had absolutely nothing to say back. I'm going to give you that exact moment today, word for word. But first you need to understand the full picture, because without context, it's just a funny line. With context, it might be the most powerful thing ever said between two people who truly love each other. Welcome to Rick Analysis PGA, where we don't just cover scores. We cover the stories behind the scores, the drama, the emotions, the moments nobody else is talking about. If you're new here, hit subscribe right now and turn on the bell, because this is what we do here every single time. Let's get into it. Who is Scottie Scheffler? First, let's understand the man. June 21st, 1996. Born in Ridgewood, New Jersey. Raised in Dallas, Texas. Married his high school sweetheart Meredith Scheffler in 2020. Today they have 2 sons, Bennett, born in 2024, and little Remy, born in 2026. On paper, Scottie Scheffler is a perfect story. A family man, a man of deep Christian faith, and a man who once said, publicly on the record, into a microphone, something that stopped every reporter in the room cold. He said, "My greatest priorities are my faith and my family. Those come first. Golf is third." Read that again. The #1 golfer in the world, the most dominant player since Tiger Woods, saying golf is his third priority. That's not a PR quote. That's how he actually lives. And honestly, that mindset might be the exact reason he's so dominant. Because when you're not desperate for trophies, when you're not playing out of fear, you play with a kind of freedom that most athletes never find in their entire careers. Now, let's talk about his resume, because it is absolutely staggering. For major championships, over 175 weeks as world #1, one of the longest sustained runs in the sport's history, back-to-back Players' Championship titles, the first golfer ever to do that. And in 2024, he won 7 tournaments in a single season, something not seen since Tiger Woods did it in 2007. Analysts, coaches, former champions, they all say the same thing. In terms of ball striking, the technical mechanics of hitting a golf ball, Scottie Scheffler is the best the world has seen since Tiger Woods. Not close to Tiger, not similar to Tiger, the best since Tiger. That is who we are talking about today. So when this man loses 3 tournaments in a row, the entire world takes notice. Quick, drop in the comments right now. One word only: slump. If you think Scheffler's form was off, unlucky. If you think he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm reading every single comment. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you what the real answer is. For now, let's go to April 2026. Augusta, Georgia. The Masters, lost #1. Augusta National Golf Club. If there's one place in golf where legends aren't just made, they're defined, it is Augusta. And Scottie Scheffler arrived there as a defending champion. He had already won the green jacket twice. He was hunting a third, but through the first 2 rounds, Scottie struggled. After 36 holes, he was at even par, and Rory McIlroy, 12 shots ahead. 12. Golf commentators had already written McIlroy's victory speech. Social media was saying, even Scottie can't come back from 12 down at Augusta. Then Saturday happened. Scottie shot a 65, bogey-free, Not a single mistake across 18 holes. Absolutely clean golf. Sunday, bogey-free again. Back-to-back bogey-free final rounds at the Masters tournament. Do you know how rare that is? Since hole-by-hole scoring data was first recorded at Augusta in 1942, that had never been done. Never. In over 80 years of Masters history, Scottie Scheffler wrote himself into the record books. While losing, final score, Scottie Scheffler, 11 under par. Rory McIlroy, 12 under par. One shot, one single stroke separated them. On the 18th green, Rory pulled Scottie into a warm embrace. Two champions, one trophy, and between them, nothing but a whisper of a margin. Scottie stood there, composed as always. No tears, no anger, just that tight, quiet smile and the dignity that only he seems to carry so naturally. Runner-up number one. Here's a question, and I want you to genuinely think about this. If you just shot back-to-back bogey-free rounds at Augusta National and still lost by one shot, do you play the very next week? Most people take time off. Scottie Scheffler flew straight to South Carolina because next week was the RBC Heritage. And what happened there was somehow even more dramatic. Stay with me. RBC Heritage, lost number 2 Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Harbortown Golf Links, one of the most beautiful and demanding courses on the PGA Tour, the RBC Heritage. And yes, Scottie Scheffler was a defending champion here too. After the first 2 rounds, Matt Fitzpatrick was leading the field, the English golfer and 2023 RBC Heritage champion. Scheffler was 7 shots behind going into the weekend. 7 shots at Harbortown on one of the tightest, most demanding courses on tour. People were saying, come on, the Augusta heartbreak hasn't even had time to heal. Then Saturday happened. Scottie shot a 64, 7 under par. In one single day, 7 shots became 3 shots. Sunday arrived. Scheffler and Fitzpatrick in the final group together. A battle of past champions. The crowd buzzing. Back-to-back birdies on 15 and 16. One shot back. 18th hole. Final hole. Everything on the line. Scottie needed a birdie. He hit his approach shot. The wind grabbed it. Ball missed the green. His chip shot was tracking perfectly toward the hole. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Stopped 18 inches short. Fitzpatrick couldn't make par either. Bogey. Both players finished tied. Playoff. One hole. 18th again. Winner takes all. Scottie misses a green with his approach. Fitzpatrick makes par. Matt Fitzpatrick wins. Scottie Scheffler, runner-up. Again. 2 weeks. 2 second-place finishes. 2 times being the best player on tour and still going home empty-handed. Afterwards, Scottie told reporters, on Sunday it's a shot here or there that makes the difference. I'm always my own biggest critic, but I feel like my game is right where it needs to be. No excuses, no complaints, just quiet, measured honesty. But behind that calm exterior, the pressure was building, because next came Miami. And Miami, the 3rd loss, that's where this story becomes something truly extraordinary. Don't go anywhere, because the moment you've been waiting for, Meredith's comment, the line that became golf history, is coming up right now. 2 losses, 2 weeks, both times world number 1, both times someone else just barely edged him out. But the Miami loss was different, because Scottie himself said something that stunned the entire room. Let's go to Trump National Doral. Cadillac Championship, loss number 3. Miami, Florida. Trump National Doral, the Blue Monster course. The Cadillac Championship, May 2026. One of the most prestigious signature events on the PGA Tour calendar. Massive purse. Best field in the world. And waiting for Scottie Scheffler here was a 27-year-old American golfer playing the golf of his life. Cameron Young. From the very first round, Cameron Young was on another planet, making putts from everywhere, attacking the course, playing with absolutely zero fear. Scheffler played solid golf, beautiful ball striking, arguably the best in the entire field all week. But Cameron Young was just somewhere else entirely. By the final round, Young had built such a commanding lead that even a perfect round from Scheffler wouldn't threaten him. Scottie said afterward, "On the greens, he was unbelievable this week. The first 27 holes, I don't think he missed anything really. It was nuts. When you're hitting really good shots and holing a lot of putts, that's a recipe to run away with a golf tournament." Cameron Young won the Cadillac Championship by 6 strokes. Scottie Scheffler, 13 under par, solo second. Again, 3 consecutive runner-up finishes. Masters, RBC Heritage, Cadillac Championship, 3 Sundays, 3 second-place trophies, 3 times being the best player on tour and still not winning. Now here's the historical context that makes all of this extraordinary. The last player to have 3 consecutive solo runner-up finishes on the PGA Tour? Sergio Garcia, 2014. Scheffler was now in that same conversation, but for completely different reasons. Because unlike Garcia in 2014, Scheffler wasn't losing because his game was off. His game was elite. He was losing because the men standing across from him were having the rounds of their careers on the exact same weeks he was. And despite 3 runner-up finishes, Scheffler had already earned $10.5 million this season. Let that sink in. He hadn't won a single tournament, and he'd made $10.5 million. But money is not why Scottie Scheffler plays golf. He plays to win. And right now, the wins weren't coming. Then came Aronimink, Pennsylvania, the 2026 PGA Championship, press conference room, cameras, reporters, and Scottie said something that stopped everyone in the room. The Meredith moment. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Scottie Scheffler sat down for his pre-tournament press conference at the 2026 PGA Championship, the tournament he was defending champion of. The questions came thick and fast. 3 runner-ups. What's wrong? What's different? Are you frustrated? Is something off? And then Scottie smiled. That quiet, self-aware smile. And he said, "I think it was last week. My wife was like, 'Hey, Scottie, you're like the first guy in PGA Tour history to have 3 solo runner-ups in a row.'" The room laughed, but you could hear the edge in it. This was his wife, his biggest supporter, the woman who had stood by him through everything. The pressure, the expectations, the arrest outside Augusta that one morning. The woman who brought their sons to tournaments and waited at home through every Sunday final round. And she was teasing him about his losses. Not cruelly, not mockingly, honestly. And what did the world number 1, the man with 4 majors, 175 weeks at the top, say back to his wife? Yeah, it's probably because the guy who was playing that could figured out a way to win one of those. He didn't come second in all 3. Read that again slowly. He's saying, the reason I'm the first person in history to have 3 consecutive runner-ups is because across those 3 weeks, I was the best player. But every single time, someone else found a way to be just barely better. That answer is either the most humble thing a champion has ever said, or the most painful admission from a competitor who kept getting to the line and not crossing it. Maybe it's both. And Meredith's comment? It wasn't cruel. It was the truest kind of love. Because only someone who truly knows you, who is completely secure in who you are, can joke about your pain without making it worse. She wasn't rubbing it in. She was reminding him, you are still the best. You are still making history. Even your losses are record-breaking. I want to know what you think. Drop it in the comments right now. Was Meredith's comment love, a roast, or the best kind of both? Because honestly, the way you answer that question says a lot about what you believe about relationships. And stay with me for the last 2 minutes, because I save one final thing that I think genuinely changes how you see Scottie Scheffler, the bigger picture. Let's zoom out for a second, because there's something bigger happening here that I need you to understand. Since 2022, Scheffler has been inside the top 2 after 54 holes 24 times. He's converted 15 of those into victories. That's a 62.5% closing rate. That is historically elite. Most players dream of closing at that rate. But that also means 9 times, someone stood between Scottie Scheffler and a trophy on Sunday. And right now, those 9 losses are all anyone wants to talk about. But here's what those losses actually tell us. At the Masters, he lost to Rory McIlroy, who defended a major championship with a near-perfect final 2 rounds. At RBC Heritage, he lost to Fitzpatrick, who was playing the best golf of his entire career in 2026. At the Cadillac, he lost to Cameron Young, who delivered what many are calling the most dominant performance ever seen at Doral. Scheffler wasn't losing because he was bad. He was losing because the men standing across from him were having historic weeks. And one more thing, something personal that I think matters more than any stat. Remember what Scottie said? Golf is third, faith first, family second. That's not just a quote. That's how he actually lives. He has 2 young sons at home, a wife who jokes about his losses, which means she's comfortable enough, secure enough, loved enough to do that. He's involved in the triumph over Kid Cancer Foundation, honoring his childhood friend James Reagan, who died from cancer in 2014. Scottie Scheffler is not a golf robot. He is a full human being who happens to be the best golfer in the world right now. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly why he keeps showing up week after week, loss after loss, with that same quiet dignity. Because for Scottie Scheffler, losing a golf tournament is painful, but it doesn't define him. His faith does. His family does. James Reagan's memory does. Golf is just the arena where he shows the world who he is. Here is where I leave you today. After 3 consecutive runner-ups, Scottie walked into the 2026 PGA Championship as defending champion, with all the pressure, all the questions. And what did he do? He took a planned rest week because he knows his mind and body better than anyone. He said, "In order for me to show up and play my best, I have to have rest." That's something I've learned as my career has gone on, how important that is. No panic, no drama, just self-awareness. And I genuinely believe the wins are coming, because men like Scottie Scheffler don't stay on the wrong side of history for long. That's it for today on Rick Analysis PGA. If you enjoyed this, like it right now. 2 seconds. It genuinely helps this channel grow. Drop in the comments, what do you think Scheffler needs to finally break through and win again? And for those of you still here from the beginning, slump or unlucky, I want to see if your answer changed. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on notifications, because we have more stories like this coming. Real stories about real people behind the sport we all love. I'll see you in the next one.